Okay, this is part 2, defending yourself with common sense. It's not about how fast you can do this. It's you train slow and easy. The power and speed will come sooner and will come faster and much better, okay? You're not going to develop the wrong habits. You have to go slow to develop the correct habits. Once you get a habit, it's a habit, you're stuck with it. Don't build on the wrong habits like so many of these club fighters train their fighters. They teach them jab, 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 and they're out there with one hand, and then jab, jab, and they're dragging one foot behind the other. The guy jumps over here. First thing he wants to do is pull that foot over. Then the guy jumps further behind him. He's trying to pull his foot. And the guy's in the meantime behind him, bashing him from behind. Don't do that. You want to, if he jumps over here and this foot's in front, you take that front foot and you spin it behind this foot here, like this, where it just spins you. This is the rotor propeller, okay? It spins you and slices over his hand, or you come up under and come around, come up under, come around, come up his chest right through his hand and hit the roadblock ahead, but you drop down and you slay him up. You don't lift up. And you don't do it from out here, and don't dive down into his punches. You always pull yourself away from his punches. He's throwing you. You got one foot in front, one behind, and you're always leaning back like you're curling weights. You lift his hand out the way over your head, not down here. And don't be out here fly swatting. You lift it and throw his hands out, come right back in, and you come in and you smash, bash, come with both hands, come under his arms like this, bash, 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 under his right, and tear up his kidneys, his ribs. And then if he's got his leg up, you move aside and you smash down on his leg that's coming up, or you hit the other leg that's down with the backhand hanger on the median muscular part. Step across, hit him on the inside with the back elbow stab, or step across, hit the other leg on the outside. Now you buckle his leg. Then you come in and you hit him with the backhand hand grenade. That's this. And then you come in with the back elbow stab, come up to his face. But you're always looping over his hands like your sword fighting like Zorro. Whip his sword out this way and this way. As you come up under his hands coming at you, then you come right back over and you throw it out this way, throw it out this way and this way. But you're in tight where you have the leverage. That's your real muscle. It's not this thing. You have to come in, looping all the time like a snake, coming over his hand this way, this way. You're always throwing it out, okay? As soon as he comes up, you come back over. Come up, come back over, come down, come back under. But you're always grabbing it. It's so easy if you get in the habit of doing it. It's not something you gotta think about. It's a natural reaction to every action. It's a thoughtless reaction that you don't have to think. It's a reflex, okay? Then you want to grab him, always in tight, grab him behind his waist, grab him on this side of his hip. As you pull him this way, you step over here, bash him again at the hips, always at the hips, push him away, grab him again, or you push him this way, you're always grabbing and pushing like a washing machine agitator. You always want to be pushing him at the hips. Take him out from down here. Don't get in the top side push and shove match or a tug of war or a wrestling match. You don't want that. You want to take him off at his hips. You take him off his feet, he can't fight you. Then you smash his legs up. You hit him in the groin, come up into his face. Don't trade punches. Come under, loop, smack him back under his hands, pedal his hands down here, not out here. You come in, but you come in like an old choo-choo train, an old train locomotive, choo-choo, and you smash down as you drop your body, and you crash down, pushing his hands down behind you, not in front of you. Pull him behind, his hands will slip out from under him, then you come over. Always bring these arms back in. Don't leave him out here where he gets over you. The leverage is your muscle. If he gets over you, he has the leverage. He's pulling you down. You're trying to lift him up. You're burning yourself out. He's got the advantage. If you just let go, surrender his pull down, and slide out from underneath, come over his shoulder and hit him right here. If his shoulder's in the way, hit him up here. But most of them, they don't train to roll these shoulders like they should be. If you always want to roll these shoulders like choo-choo, like the old train. And when you do that, then you can maneuver yourself. You pull yourself down with these elbows, and you want these elbows and arms to whip up and down like a whip. But you want them to come over and out, not into them where you fracture your arm. Hit with the backhand hand grenade. Always stay loose with the snap, crackle, pop. You just let your arms fly. Don't draw back. Don't come in stiff, tense, tight, stiff, bulky, and clumsy. You want to be loose, lean, and mean, coming like a fight machine. You want these arms to snap at him. Keep your wrists locked. Don't bend them like this. Don't bend a little bit, but you hit them with the knuckles clenched on impact. Keep them loose until impact. That's where the power's at. That little bit will knock him out if you hit him here. Or you hurt him up here. And you come over his face. These are sidewinders. That's where you always come in like this. You use both hands like you're throwing a bag of concrete over your shoulder. You lift it with one, and this one's pushing it off you or behind you, okay? And you always want these arms doing this where you come over his. You throw them out and come right back like he throws his hand. You come over his hand, loop it, throw it out, come back in, come over his shoulder. Throw this one out, or you can throw them both out and come in right through the middle. You grab, twist, spin, jerk, toss, and throw. Always at the hips. You come down, vacuum at the hips on both sides and with your arm here, and this spins you into him. But if he goes to kick, don't try to catch his feet and pull it. You slam down into his hip, push him over, come back with this part, and you push in, you push him off his feet this way, push him off, come back, push him around, grab him, twist him, spin him, jerk him, come over, under. You always want to, you don't want to be out here clashing hands and trading punches. He may have the reach, you don't have to have the reach. If you're in tight, like you should be, to fight in tight, that's how you fight right. But you have to not be lazy. You have to lean in and lean out. As you lean in and lift, as he's throwing his punch, you're pulling away, but you're leaning back on your anchored foot back here. And as you throw it out, you lift these arms and turn your hands out. His hands will slide off yours like this, and then you're right here to come in. And as you do this, you're getting in and around him. Then you want to do the rodeo bronco buckaroo. When you get right here next to him, you hit him with your hip. He's right here. Hit him with your hip, one side your ass, the other side you step back, come back. Then you roll your shoulders or you hit down real hard with your whole ass. And you roll your shoulders up into him. Now you're hitting him down here at the legs on both sides. You hit him up here and you're pushing into him as you do this. And as you turn around, always bring your arms up like this when you can whack them away. Come over, loop, smack them, whack, come up, come in. With these here, which I call this sword fighting. But you're always throwing the concrete over your shoulder like a bag of concrete. You're catching him, throwing it over, or you come in and you catch his hands like this. You always want these hands crisscrossed. Don't come in like this. You always want to constantly be crisscrossing, lifting them up and whacking them away. You don't want to come in like this and hopping in and out on your toes like you're some kind of bunny rabbit. Don't be a bunny rabbit. Come in to be a fighter. But you have to come in always tight, always shuffling your feet. The same leg in front with the same arm. Same arm in front with the same leg. And going backwards, it's the same thing. You're always shuffling. You're always moving yourself up and down away from his punches. You're not running into him, okay? Don't chase him in a big circle. When you get to him, you do the rodeo bronco buckaroo. That's what I just showed you. Hit him with your ass, this. Then you step in and around him like this. As you pull and grab, you twist him. Come back in with some back elbows there. Move to his face. But you're always twisting your arms like this, grabbing, twisting, smash his legs. This is how you defeat the hands and feet with this technique. You smash his leg here, back up and stab the other one, hit him in the groin, then you step in and around him like this. But you gotta build this into a habit. If you don't, if you're in the habit of going in a circle, you're gonna keep doing that. Get out of that habit. Get out of trading punches. You come under and over. And you always have a force field. Punch him behind the ear so when he comes in to hit you, you're right there already. And if you don't hit him, you're right there to lift up and push his arms away. But you have to spin your body for the leverage. If you're doing it this way, you don't have the same leverage. He'll grab you and throw you that way or this way. Don't come in like a peacock. Don't come in like a soaring eagle with your wings up. He'll just throw you around. You always want to be in tight like your arm wrestling. When you pull him down, you loop over, say, get him up here, pull it down, come back up, come in with this part, smash him in the side of the head, come underneath and hit him with this part, come up his chin, come over, but you're always grabbing him too at the hips. You grab him on one side, and as you pull him, you push him on the other side, like this, switch arms, do it this way, switch arms, do it this way. But you don't want to be out here like this. You want to be in tight right here when you do this so that you can press into him and really push him off his hips and take him off his feet. But this is, I told you, a staff cracker pop. You stay loose, lean and mean, you come in like a fighting machine. The backhand hang ready, staff cracker pop. That's where you clench your fists on impact as you hit him. Don't be tense, tight, step both getting clumsy. Being tight, you have to stay loose and lean and mean. You have to be agile, not fragile. But you're always doing this, shuffling your feet all the time. Don't come in like Hopalong Cassidy, where you jump in, you jump out. Don't come in like you're a bunny rabbit hopping on your toes. That's no good. That just burns you out and it takes you off being anchored. You want to stay anchored. You lift your feet just enough to move them, but you don't slide them. Okay, you have to lift them a little bit just to maneuver in and around. But you have to get used to going around him, digging in under his arms, come in under his arms when he's got his arms up, bam, bam, bam on his kidneys, come into his face, come under, loops back and away. You keep this in perpetual motion, and sooner you'll have him than not have him. But like I said, you have to build the habits. If you build the right habits, you're going to have it. If you build the wrong habits, you're going to be stuck with them, and you're going to keep doing the same mistakes. That's what's wrong with so many fighters. They do this stuff. They block their head. All they're doing is getting punched, and they're hitting themselves. Okay? Or they got their hands here, and they're getting hit over here and over here like this. You don't want that. You always want to comb over your head and whip your arms up and down, slicing over and under. And you lift with your legs, your ass, your back, your shoulders, everything. Not just your arm. Don't be out here extending. Don't dive down into this punch or kick. You have to think about this stuff when you're training and practicing so that it becomes a second nature. Good luck. The fighting tight is how you fight right. Ideally, you want to fight him here. But like I was telling you, if you run spin, sidestep over this way and this way until you get right up on him. Then you use the rodeo bronco buckaroo. Hit him this way, step in and around him, back and forth. He's right here. You're stepping in and around him quicker than he can maneuver. Plus, you come in, you grab him at the hips, you push him, shoving, twisting, spin, jerking, tossing, throwing him. Good luck. Fighting tights to fight right.